What if the walls around you could move when you're not looking? What if the place you call home isn't standing still at all? Sometimes buildings aren't just made of brick and mortar. Sometimes they breathe, and sometimes they hunt. Tonight's story is about a door that doesn't stay in one place, and a room that only moves when it gets hungry. You might remember Maya from our last story. They said she vanished without a trace. The official police report is thin. They never found a body, never found any signs of a struggle, and they definitely never found the strange, impossible door she kept talking about in her final, frantic voicemails. A few weeks after she disappeared, the landlord, eager to fill the vacancy, rented the very same apartment to someone new. His name was Evan. He was new to the city, didn't know anyone, and had never heard of Maya. He'd never heard the whispers, the local rumors that clung to that building like a damp chill. All he knew was that the rent was impossibly cheap for the location, and the landlord assured him the strange cracks in the hallway wall had just been freshly repaired. But on his very first night, as he was unpacking the last of his boxers, the lights in the apartment flickered, just for a moment. Tualo, and in that split second of wavering light, he saw something at the far end of the hallway, a faint, shadowy outline of a door. Right where the paint on the wall didn't quite match the rest, he blinked, rubbing his tired eyes, and when he looked again, it was gone. Just a smooth, blank wall. Evan shrugged it off. He figured he was just exhausted from the move, his mind playing tricks on him. The next night, things got weirder. He was settled on the couch, flipping through channels on the TV, when the screen suddenly dissolved into a sea of static. But this wasn't normal static. It didn't just hiss, it seemed to hum, like it was breathing. A deep, rhythmic pulse, and within that electronic noise, a faint whisper began to surface, curling out of the speakers like smoke. It was a single, chilling phrase. "You found me." Evan froze, the remote slipping from his hand. The sound hadn't just come from the TV. It felt like it came from asterisks behind asterisks the TV, from inside the wall itself, the very same wall that Maya had frantically described breaking through. Then came the knocks, tray of them soft, slow, measured, knock, 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 knock. He lunged for the remote and shut off the TV, plunging the room into silence. But the knocking didn't stop. In fact, it grew louder, more insistent. It was closer now, no longer sounding like it was on the other side of the wall, but like someone was inside the wall, pushing against the drywall, trying to get out. His heart hammered against his ribs. He scrambled off the couch and ran to the hallway, his breath catching in his throat. And there it was, the same rusted metal door from Maya's story. No number, no handle, just a slab of cold, pitted steel. An icy draft seeped from its edges, chilling the air around it. He backed away slowly, his mind screaming that this was impossible. Then, with a low groan of tortured metal, the door began to open all by itself. As it swung inward into absolute blackness, the lights in the apartment went out completely. Total darkness. All Evan could hear was the low hum of static that seemed to fill the air, and a faint, echoing laugh that drifted out from inside the dark doorway. When the lights flickered back on a few seconds later, the door was gone. The wall was smooth and solid again, but his phone, which had fallen to the floor during his panic, was still on, its screen glowing. The camera app was open. It had been recording, and on the screen, he saw it. A reflection in the dark, glassy surface of the powered-off TV. It was a woman. Her skin was pale, almost translucent. She was smiling, a wide, unnatural grin. And her eyes were locked directly on his. As he stared, paralyzed, her lips in the reflection moved, and a whisper filled the room, seeming to come from every direction at once. "Your turn." The next morning, the building's security cameras captured something horrifying. The footage showed Evan walking into his apartment the previous evening. He never came out, but 12 minutes after he entered, the camera feed from the hallway glitched. When the image stabilized, a new door had appeared in the hallway wall, just outside his apartment. The door that wasn't supposed to exist. They say the room moves. Every time it takes someone, it shifts its location. A new city, a new building, a new, unsuspecting tenant. It's always waiting. So if you're ever in your home and you hear a strange knocking coming from inside your walls, don't answer it. Don't even acknowledge it, because the room is always moving, and for all you know, it might already be under your floor. The story isn't over. We'll uncover the truth in the final part of our series, The Building That Breathes. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the dark. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the terrifying conclusion. Stay safe out there and check your walls. I'll see you next time.